Good morning, Life Church. This morning's reading comes from Mark chapter 15, verses 33 to 41, and relays the death of Jesus. The passage begins by telling us that at noon, which is often the brightest part of the day, that darkness covered the whole land and that this lasted for 3 hours. We know from Scripture that darkness is a sign that is connected with God's judgment. For example, we see in Exodus chapter 10 verse 21 that one of the plagues that God sent to Egypt was of a thick darkness. So now here we see Jesus, our sacrificial lamb, hanging on the cross at Calvary and incurring the fullness of God's wrath and judgment for our sin, for the sin of the whole world, both past, present and future. The passage then says that at about 3 o'clock, Jesus cried out in a loud voice saying, my God, why have you forsaken me?" The Father had to turn his face away from his own Son as he laid our sin upon him. And in John's Gospel in chapter 19, verse 30, we read that Jesus also declared, "It is finished." This is a victory cry. The debt of sin was paid in full. At this point, the veil of the temple was torn in two, it says, from top to bottom. Now this veil, or this curtain, was 60 foot high and 4 inches thick. And Josephus tells us that horses tied to each side of it could not pull it apart. But God, through Jesus' death, was showing us that the way is now open to freely enter into the presence of God. So my question to myself is this at this time. If God went through all this pain and suffering for me, am I taking this amazing invitation to come into his presence for granted? Sadly, sometimes I am. What an awesome privilege God has provided us with. Let us never forget what it cost him, Life Church. Have a good day.